Hello. How to quit porn in three simple steps. And as this title says, it's simple steps. It doesn't say easy, but it's simple. Step number one, admit that you have a problem. Without this step, you cannot quit porn. You can tell yourself, no, it's not a big deal to use porn. But it is. So admit in the first step that you do have a problem. Think all of the reasons why it is a problem and admit that you have a problem. Also, you can just admit it is a problem. You don't need to dig there deep down there and spend 5 years thinking why it's a problem. You can just admit right now that it is a problem and just admit it. And then you have accomplished the step one. Okay, step number two. Step number one also includes that you admit you have a problem and you want change. So you want to change that. You admit the problem and you want to change your behavior. Okay, step number two, believe or think that change is possible. Okay, believe and think that change is possible. Without this step, you cannot quit porn. If you think it's impossible to quit the porn, you will not quit the porn. I promise you. But when you believe it and think it's possible to quit the porn, then you will quit the porn, if possible. You must think it's possible before you can quit it. And this is the crucial step. And most of people, they do very well with the step number one. But when they come to step number two, they fail. Don't you be one of them. You maybe have tried to quit porn, but then you collapsed and you started to think, no, this is not possible to quit porn. And do you know why it's impossible? Because you don't believe it's possible. How can you believe it's possible to quit porn? Let me tell you. Which is more powerful addiction? Heroin addiction or porn addiction? What do you think? Do you think porn addiction is higher than heroin addiction? Let me tell you something. I have not been in prison, but those people who have been in prison have told me, not to me personally, but in general, they have told that nowadays people in prison, they don't talk so much about women anymore. They talk more about drugs, what kind of experiences they had with heroin. So heroin addiction, it's more powerful than porn addiction. But do you know what? People have quitted heroin addiction also. So if people can beat the heroin addiction, if they can do it, as it has happened, of course they can then beat the smaller addiction. So admit that people have they have beat the heroin addiction, so then you can beat the porn addiction as well. And there are people who have beaten the both of them. So believe and think that beating porn addiction and quitting porn, believe it that it is possible. And it is. And you can compare your situation to the situation of like heroin addict and say, well, heroin addicts they quit, so can I quit porn addiction. So step number two, believe it is possible to quit porn. And step number three, make plans how do you quit porn and then adhere to those plans. For example, could your plan plan B that you like use these kind of phones when you are alone. And when you are with other people, you may use smartphones. I don't know if you have that kind of plan or if you restrict your internet. It's up to you to make the plan that fits you and which works. I have some kind of ideas. Maybe your sexual drive is very high at the moment. Maybe do something with that. Maybe eat less red meat. Maybe eat less whole grain. Why? Because there is zinc in those foods. And when you get zinc, you get more sex hormones in your body, and then you get more sex drive. And with more sex drive, maybe you have higher risk for porn. So consult your medical professional before doing anything, but make zinc lower in your diet. So zinc can be found in red meat, in whole grain, etc. You can Google it. So make zinc smaller in your diet. So then you can make your sex hormones smaller if that is what you want. So step number 3 was make a plan and stick to it. And if necessary, change your plan. So these 3 simple steps how to quit porn. Step number 1, admit you have a problem and have a want to change that behavior. Step number 2, believe and think it is possible to change. Step number 3, make a plan and stick to it. If you like this video and find this was useful, please share with your friends and everybody. Please subscribe and leave a like and comment. I wish you a pleasant year and that you quit all your addictions and bad habits. Obey intellect. And please watch other videos as well. This channel is about obeying intellect and developing your intellect, which is based on book Advice of Intellect. Because your purpose as a human being is to be obeyer of intellect. It's written in your DNA to be intelligent. So living with porn, it's pretty unintelligent thing to do. Be intelligent and love other people, love yourself. Read the book Advice of Intellect. It's the book of intellect. And admit that only intellect is intellect, nothing else is. And decide to be obeyer of intellect. Then you are obeyer of intellect. Be obeyer of intellect today. Quit porn, quit stupidity, quit foolishness. Be obeyer of intellect now. Share this video. Bye.